Now, seriously, like if you want to get better at the game, just go in training raids and just practice this. Just keep doing it, okay? What's up, everyone? It's KK. Today, we're going to talk about how to build your confidence when you're playing Exfil Zone, okay? If you watched my last video, you would see that I really rushed into that bank and I did what I had to do, and it was just no sweat for me, okay? But doing that requires a lot of preparation, and I'm going to teach you today how to practice building your confidence in a training raid, okay? You can do this in your free time whenever you want before you play, and you can also do this after you die in a raid, okay? When you die in a raid, you come back to the same spot where you were at and you practice this, okay? Now we're gonna get exactly into what I'm talking about right now. So today we're gonna talk about clearing angles and covering all angles of the map as you're going through. Now this is something that is extremely important, especially for maps like Resort, where there's so much inside building action, and maps like Metro, which you're gonna be stuck on a lot for those in-game trader quests. Now, when you're playing VR, you got to think about it almost as if you're playing real life, okay? You don't want to be coming around these corners without checking or looking in every single angle that a player is going to be at, all right? Now, obviously, you don't want to do this unnecessarily when you don't have to. Now, a lot of the times when I'm in a raid, I tell you, you should be walking everywhere, right? You're always listening for footsteps, you're being quiet as you're moving around. But when it comes to playing in like a building area like this, where you know someone is inside, you have to switch up the tactics a little bit. Once you're in this perimeter area to where you can hear their footsteps, they're going to be able to hear yours too. At that moment, you have to engage in PvP and take them out quickly. It's no more being silent, it's no more holding an angle and waiting. It's you have to get this player's location quickly so you can take them out. And the thing is, once you find a player's location, all that anxiety that you have goes away. I promise you. Finding their actual location instead of just only hearing these footsteps, it's what's going to make you better off in the raid. Alright, so let's get right into it. So hospital is what I'm going to be using as my example here, right? So I'm going to be going through and checking every single angle possible as I go through this building, alright? Now what this is going to do is build my muscle memory for when I'm actually in game, alright? The next time I come up to the hospital, I'm hearing footstep audio, okay, cool. The only way to take them out is to go ahead and bait out their location first. So I'm going to go ahead and move in here, listening for audio, I'm checking here, I'm checking the hallway, I'm checking this room here, I'm checking all angles, okay? And this is something you want to get used to, because as you go into raids, as I said, it's going to be so casual for you. It's going to be second nature. You're not even going to be noticing. You're just going to be playing like this casually. You're always going to be checking your angles, always looking around, because as you play this game, even if a player is camping in any of these buildings, they will not catch you off guard if you are checking every single angle, okay? Even if they hear your footstep audio and your flashlight is shining everywhere, it doesn't matter if they're camping behind this desk here or they're camping somewhere behind the corner. You're prepared to check all these angles, and you're going to practice this on many different buildings, okay? It doesn't have to be just a hospital. Like I said, if you go into a raid and you die somewhere in a building, you can go back into a training raid, go back to that same location, and figure out how you could have checked every angle before that situation occurred where the player took you out. Okay, so we're here at the bank. Now I'm going to use this as an example because this is what I had in the video yesterday, all right? So what I'm going to do here is practice going through as I would do as if I was actually checking for players in a real raid, all right? So say I'm hearing footsteps in here. Something I would automatically do is first start from outside on this corner and check here and look towards the stair set here, all right? Let me go ahead and turn my zoom down. I will check the stair set over here in this corner from this side. Maybe I would even run past the door for a second just to get a glance over in the area, okay? Then swipe from this side, look over here, check these stairs, okay? Because you know players are going to be, you know, hiding in the stairs in this corner, in that corner. If you know no one is there, maybe they were looting up, you know, like the players were in the raid that I was in. I'm going to run for the first cover, okay? And using your flashlight and going to cover is going to be so crucial. The flashlight is always going to be good to make players unsure about their shots and unsure where your head is, okay? This flashlight is really good at hiding your head from getting shot. Now what I would do here, of course, is boom, put my gun up, run into the nearest cover, which is about right here. Now I've covered these stairs, I know that it's clear. I've covered these right here and I know it's clear. Now obviously I missed these doors right here in these bathrooms, all right? So when you're coming in, obviously you're gonna practice, you know, checking these first or so, and then going straight to cover, all right? So just finding different ways to enter a building, exit a building, check your cover. You know, after something like this, I'm gonna go ahead and probably start looking towards the top floor. I'm gonna be using my flashlight on, because if they're seeing a flashlight right here in this area, half the time my whole body is probably blocked out by a flash. Their shots aren't gonna be as accurate, okay? So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna be flashing around, and I'm not worried about them seeing my flashlight or hearing my audio, because the purpose is to bait out information, okay? That's the whole point of playing like this. You want to know where the players are at, okay? It's okay if they know where you are. You have to be prepared to fight back, okay? When I entered the bank the last time, I'm peeking, I see the first player, instantly I'm putting shots out and I'm repositioning, okay? Now this is the player here that caught me off guard in my last video. The best thing for me to do is probably go ahead and scope in and do a type of peek like this, but of course I ran in there. I was just too quick on edge because I knew there was a lot going on. Obviously things like that are gonna happen, but the best thing for you to do is, as I said, come back into these raids, go back over these areas and just practice around, just clear. And it's actually fun, you know, to just move in, maneuver, be like, okay, cool, check here, check there, make sure everything is good. Okay, then we move on here, maybe come up the stair set. Like a peek I like to do is come from the bottom right here on the stairs, and you can peek into like this office building right here. So instead of actually coming all the way up the stairs, you know, and just peeking into this door, you can just peek from the bottom, and people aren't going to expect you to peek from here. So it's little stuff like this that's going to advance you into the game and take you to the next level. Now I know some people may say, this is too sweaty, why do I have to play like this? Well, you have to understand this is going to be the skill ceiling for the game, okay? If you're not understanding these maps, understanding the layouts, understanding how to clear these rooms, that's what's going to be the difference between the best players in the game and the worst players, okay? And I'm telling you, there are players in this game that come from a hardcore Tarkov background, and they're looking for that extraction shooter to sink hours in and sweat, okay? And that may just be me. So if you want to compete against other players that are going to be playing like that, it's very, very good that you go on a raid and you start practicing these things now, because trust me, in time it will be second nature and you won't have to worry about it anymore. But that's going to be it for this video. If you like this video in any way, go ahead and hit the like button, hit up the comment section. Tell me how you guys build your confidence in raids since you do the practice. Do you look over your death footage? Do you even record your footage? Or maybe do you just go into a raid and practice different things? I'm not sure. But go ahead, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content, and I will catch you guys later.